Hi, we're here with Adam Spickler. We're here to ask a couple questions. I was curious, what kind of work inspired you and what kind of leadership inspired you as a queer youth?
There's been a lot to inspire me. I didn't come out until I was 25. So the inspiration was really the community that was around me. I came out in Santa Cruz. I moved here when I was 21. And just being here, I originally came from outside of Boston, so the East Coast. Not that it's still that way. I think a lot has changed, but in my growing up in the 70s and 80s on the East Coast, it was not a supportive community. And landing in Santa Cruz, I give props to my area. I can't name a single person because there have been so many people who've been inspirational to me here. So.
How do you hope to support queer youth and queer youth programs in the future?
I am recently elected president of the board of directors for the Diversity Center. First transgender president of their board. I'm excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So there's quite a bit in that role that I get to do. As Jim probably shared, because I believe you interviewed him, he's our executive director. We have the Queer Youth Scene, which is part of the Diversity Center programming. I'm also the rep for the Queer Youth Task Force from the Diversity Center. So I get to do a lot of work on behalf of the Diversity Center to support the staff and the programming that work with queer youth to make sure that GSAs get enough support, to make sure that we get to further our community goals for queer youth. We just, as the Queer Youth Task Force, updated those, so that's really great. So at the local level, I get to do a lot. And then in my other hat, because I have a day job, I get to do a lot as well. I'm lucky to work for Assemblymember Bill Monning, who you also interviewed today. I work in his Santa Cruz office, and I staff him on a number of issues: education, social services, housing, healthcare, and civil rights. All of the civil rights legislation that he works on and civil rights issues that come up here locally, we work together. So I'm aware of all the legislation that he's been voting for and that he's working on. And we've been able to get him to work with the Transgender Law Center, for example, and he's co-authoring one of the bills that they're sponsoring this year, AB 887, and that may increase over time. So we'll see.
Wonderful.
Why do you think it's so important to be an ally to queer youth, and what does that mean to you exactly?
It's tremendously important. Like I said, didn't come out till I was 25. That's because I did not have allies in any way, shape, or form to help me feel safe enough to be who I was. I knew on the inside since I was 12. But it took me, and as a transgender person, there have been stages of coming out. I came out as queer when I was 25, but I didn't come out fully as transgender to where I was actually sharing it with my community, with my boss, and with my family until a little over a year ago. There are pieces of coming out as trans that have happened over the last several years, but finally and fully coming out, it's taken me a lifetime. And queer youth these days are getting a lot more support to be who they are in a significant way sooner, to get support in both being who they are and dealing with any discrimination they may face. Those are, to me, the main reasons why.
Well, thank you so much for adding to that support too, and I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.